Welcome back. Today's lesson is the 6th lesson in our mini-series of lessons for beginner students. I hope you enjoy the video. We're going to start today's video by looking at 5 new vocabulary words: classmate, friend, neighbor, boss, and colleague. Now, I said new vocabulary words, but I think most of you will know these words, maybe except for colleague. Colleague is very similar to classmate, except instead of being together in a class, you're together at work or at your job, your workmates, your colleagues. In the previous videos, we talked a lot about syllables. I like to talk about syllables with new vocabulary because it helps with your pronunciation, but it also helps with your listening. So let's do that one more time here. How many syllables in the word classmate? Classmate. Classmate. There are 2 syllables in classmate. What about the word friend? 1 syllable in friend. Neighbor. Neighbor. Neighbor has 2. And what about the word boss? Boss. Boss just has 1. That's an easy one because it only has 1 vowel, so it can only have 1 syllable. Now what about the word colleague? Colleague. That might have been a little tricky because it's a longer word and it has lots of vowels, but it only has 2 syllables. Okay, now all of these words have something in common. What type of word are they? Are they a noun, a verb, an adjective, an adverb? That's right, they're all nouns. They're all nouns. One way we could tell that is they all start with the article a. And we know only nouns have articles. Today, we're going to talk about possessive nouns and possessive adjectives. This is going to be something we'll talk about in a few videos. So today is just more of an introduction to the topic. Okay, so we have possessive nouns and possessive adjectives. Both of these different words have basically the same purpose. These words show a relationship of possession, ownership. And we'll look through some examples that will help to make this clear. So possessive nouns, it's usually a noun followed by an apostrophe S to show a relationship of possession. For example, Brian's book. Whose book is it? Who does this book belong to? Brian. It's my book. Okay, now if you have a plural noun, a noun that ends with S, you don't need to put another apostrophe S. You can just put an apostrophe at the end, on the outside of the S instead of on the inside. If we look at the example, the boys' book. So who does the book belong to? The boys. More than one boy. So more than one boy owns this book, the boys' book. Now, possessive adjectives, we have words like my, your, his, her, its, our, your, and their. An example, my book. It's not your book, it's my book. I own it, right? I have possession of this book. Okay, let's look at some examples. Okay, Si-hye is Craig's boss. Si-hye is not my boss. Si-hye is Craig's boss. But with a possessive adjective, we could say the same thing and say Si-hye is his boss. His means Craig's. Here's another example. Fan is Gabriela's colleague. Not my colleague, not your colleague, Gabriela's colleague. So Fan is her colleague. Her meaning Gabriela's. We are Helena and Pedro's neighbors. Okay, I'm not your neighbor. We are not your neighbors, but we're neighbors for Helena and Pedro. So I can say we are their neighbors. Their is for more than one person. We are their neighbors. I am Ms. Kim's student. I am Ms. Kim's student. I'm not in another class. I'm Ms. Kim's student. So there's a couple of different ways I can talk about this one. I can say I am her student, her being Ms. Kim's, but I could switch it around and say Ms. Kim is my teacher. She's my teacher. I don't have another teacher. It's Ms. Kim. We are Andreia's classmates. So you and I together, we are Andreia's classmates. We are her classmates. But again, we can switch this around. When we can say Andreia is our classmate, right? She is our classmate, your classmate, and my classmate. I hope you enjoyed today's mini lesson. More lessons are on the way soon.